Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rorixon, and I'm joined by my friends and co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Mocha online, and I guess I have championship points now, which is kind of neat. And I am joined by...
And this is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Nova.
Way to rub it in.
Right?
I'm after the last two events, it was just pride at this point. Like
You
Sure.
have been to multiple events now, so I mean...
More than either of us. So
it's true. Whose fault is that?
It's a good question. Ours. I don't know. Yours, because you decided to go at the end of
Yeah.
of Swin Shield. So yeah, I'll blame you for that one actually. Anyway, happy day after the day after the day after Pokemon Day.
Pokemon
been 2
Day.
days,
I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll be Thursday when this comes out. So
Okay.
so I got that number right. Yeah. So that was cool. That was the thing that happened. Knoxville happened this weekend. And we've got some cool stuff coming up. So where do we want to start this episode? Or other random small talk, even though we did just see each other.
We did. Finally got the whole crew together. We got one picture.
You did.
Hold on.
Counts.
We got
It counts.
We got one
It
picture
counts.
thanks to you, and we also only got one picture thanks to you. It goes both ways. I think. Oh, you sent me the picture, so I put it on my personal Twitter, and I guess I can put it on the Game Corner Twitter as well. But it was proof that all three of us were together at some point. So go look at that if you guys didn't come see us in Knoxville. I think shout out to Lasso. Is that if I said your name?
Yeah, Lasso.
Okay, yeah, for coming up and saying hi. That was super cool.
Yeah.
And then we met a bunch of cool people in Knoxville too.
Yeah, this was the one that had like by far the most people that I feel like we knew there. As unfortunately,
Right. So many
we were missing the Pokesports crew this time, but I think we'll see everybody plus them at Charlotte, so that'll be good.
Yep. So we had Little Root lessons. We met Carter in person. Pappy Canton, Papa Shuckle. More names. Bruno. We saw Bruno. Yeah, you met Bruno.
You didn't see Bruno at Orlando because you weren't at Orlando.
That's true.
That's right. But we had like all the South Carolina crew and Georgia. It was pretty great. Like,
well, you mean the Georgia crew, right? It was all the Georgia crew.
That's how I know them. But yeah, no, I think South Carolina turned up way more than we did.
Yeah, we had
Georgia.
Almost a whole team there. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's actually a fun update. USPA is a thing.
Yeah.
How are your teams doing?
I think we're locked for playoffs. We may need to get like one game win in the next round.
I'm not sure. Pretty much are. We've lost 1 week.
Same, yeah.
That's it.
And it was against New York, so don't feel too bad about it.
Sure. I forget who we lost to, but we are locked in. Florida's locked in for the playoffs too.
Nice.
And I'm not gonna totally brag, but it was my game that secured us it was my match.
Awesome. That's awesome.
My 2-0.
It's always it's always like super pressure too. If it's like you're the last match of the week and it's tied up.
Nope, it was not that. My win allowed my two teammates to do some more shenanigans.
Mess around. Okay, that's
okay.
It's like something
so it
you
wasn't
have to
all that much pressure.
Like you have to remind yourself with team games, like even if it comes down to you, it's not really your fault if you're the one who causes it to lose.
Still,
like
it's
everybody
still
who
the pressure.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. Like you can say all these things. It's like what it really is and like what it feels like when you're playing, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if they're all in the showdown chat yelling.
They were, yeah. I posted it, and this was every other match I've had was on cartridge. Is that true? I think it's true. This is my first showdown one. Yeah.
I don't even know they allowed it on cartridge.
Yeah, they do. You can send in recordings if you need to do it that way, or whatever.
Yeah, you can do it on there if you want.
Yeah, and I just normally ask my opponent like, which do you prefer?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I never share the links to my team because I like don't want the pressure. And then like whenever we play the games, I'm like the wrestling heel is just like 10 people cheering against me the whole time.
Florida's pretty good at jumping in. So I think that's fine. And they don't blow up chat At least not in Showdown.
A lot of people blow up chat in Showdown for these matches.
They were blowing up chat in Discord, which was pretty funny. And I'm like, shut up. But anyway, yeah. So USPA is fun. So we have playoffs coming up here soon. Sounds like we're all in. So
yeah, it'll be good. We might actually play each other.
That'd be fun.
Scary. Yeah. So no more team building together, at least for USPA. Speaking of team building together, want to talk about Knoxville?
Did we team build together for Knoxville?
Nope.
We did not.
Great,
Not
awesome segue. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was gonna let that slide. We had to bring light to it. No, we didn't.
I'm feeling a little sassy today. I don't know.
I'll take it. Good content. So who wants to go first talking about Knoxville?
Oh, it was kind of a tiny little venue, but it was still like probably the best run regional we've had so far.
I think the venue was bigger. Sorry. The venue itself
was... the room that we were in, like the venue itself was great. But the hall that we were all kind of stuffed in felt
I liked
way
it more than
smaller
Orlando.
Really? They had better merch than Orlando. That's for
true.
Sure. But yeah. But no, they ran it so much better. We weren't all sitting around for 90 minutes before it started. We actually finished. I mean, 9 rounds helped, but also just like we finished at a reasonable time. I think we were out of there by like 7. It was great.
Was it 7? Was that early?
Yeah, because like they actually started the first round like 8
on time. Yeah, it was super on time. I was impressed.
Yeah, like we didn't get lunch until after round 4 just because we were doing so well.
I was really looking forward to trying to get people around me to play Mario Kart while we wait for round 1 and team sheets and whatever. But yeah, no, they were on top of it. So good job day 2 events. That was well done for Knoxville.
Yeah, I don't really know where to start though. There's like I saw a ton of Dondozo, which was annoying because I wanted to see Dozo back in Orlando. I didn't run into one. So it's kind of cool to see where the meta's going, but I don't know if y'all want to talk about the event more than the actual game.
I think the event was the field was crazy, I think. Like if you look at the teams in this, like, you know, top cuts, the CP, all that, like there was some wild stuff at this regional. I feel like more so than regionals we've seen in the past.
I think this format, like, we're just Terra and this gen allows for like really cool team building, and I think it just completely refutes everybody who said that Open Sheet was going to make team building less creative, because it's so cool to see what we have.
Yeah. But I feel like the only people that said that didn't really have a grasp of like the game as far as like the competitive side of it, because that doesn't change anything, and it never has for any esport, you know, card game. Like Open Team List doesn't really change
it's
the building process, really.
Not the building process for sure. It's just you and there's the thing is what Open Team Sheets takes away is the like gimmicks you see on best of 1 ladder stuff. Yeah, that doesn't do well in a best of 3 format anyway. Like that's what you're missing.
Is the thing, right? Like you if you have closed sheet, you can steal a game right off the bat. If you're 1 game up in a best of 3, you're doing awesome, and your whole team doesn't have to be a gimmick. You can just slap 1 or 2 gimmicks.
Just that one game is all you need, and then you have 2 more games that
you can play normally.
And anything can happen. You know,
I guess it's fair.
Because I'm sure y'all experienced it this weekend. Like sometimes all it can take is 1 crit or 1 low roll, and you know, game's over. Like,
yes, that happens. Happens all the time. That's the game we play.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I complained. I was about to use a different word. I complained a lot about one of my low rolls, but I also got a couple crits that really helped me. So I mean, it kind of evened out in the end. So
one of my
game we played.
One of my favorite games. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a game that was full of hacks. But it was both ways. It was like a good para, a good burn, like both of us kind of trading hacks. So like can't be too mad at it, but like I was close.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, good time, though.
Saw some really good stuff. Like every regional I've got to play against like some really like cool, either really good or prolific players, and like it's just awesome to like have that kind of experience. I'd really recommend anybody just to do a regional if there's one near you, because they're actually not that hard. They're actually not that hard to get into. Like everybody's like F5ing and clicking register at the buzzer these days.
That's true.
And fine if you want to guarantee it. But I think Charlotte's still open for registration as of
They said
as of this recording.
Yes.
And there's like 600 people, more than 600 people already registered for it. So like you can get into these things.
I am a little sad that I spent money on a cruise to get expensive internet so that I can guarantee my spot.
Play the world's smallest violin for your $10.
It was like 25.
Wow. For a day?
Yeah.
Wild.
That was like, they had different plans. It was like 12, 24, 25, and then like a $36 one. And I'm like, no, that's stupid. But if I wanted to have internet, like open internet access, I had to get the middle plan at least. Anyway, it was fun though. To be there.
By the way, Charlotte's at 721 right now.
Really? So what's?
Yep.
I wonder what the cap is.
No
More
idea.
than 722.
I would say over 800 because 800 is a kicker.
That's true. That's a good point.
Once you
They're
pass
probably aiming for
800, top 256 gets CP.
right?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is like that was the annoying thing is like Orlando had over 800 registrants, but not 800 people showed up.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you're going to have that. I feel like that's like a common thing. You're going to have
Yeah.
almost 100 people not show up.
But
It's
it was-
kind of wild though, right? Because you have it's not cheap. It's over $70 for a
$70.
ticket, and
Yeah.
they don't refund you. Like they only give you like 60% of your money back if you
I
cancel.
think it's 85. I think they keep 15%.
Is it only 50? Okay.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, the 851, 852, whatever we saw at Orlando registered, I think that includes juniors and seniors too.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. So the Masters was probably still over 800, but not
just
by
barely.
70.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you have 24 people, not show up, which is kind of still a
Statistically,
lot to your point,
yeah.
but statistically better. Then
Yeah.
yes, you lose the kicker real fast.
Yeah, so Knoxville, we had 696 Masters actually playing. There was 767 total, counting juniors and seniors.
How many Masters was it?
696, according to Victory Road.
Let me see. So I meant to have this pulled up. The shout out to Cy the manager of USPA Florida, who I think works with one of these event companies. He was part of the Orlando staff, but he posted somewhere in this Discord, if I can find it, a link to a website that has stats on all the events for standings. I just found. I don't want Indianapolis. I don't know why it defaults to that. But I looked it up after the fact because I didn't know where I was because I didn't show up Sunday morning apparently early enough to see my standings.
It should be on RK9 if you look it up. It'll show you
it'll be on
standings.
Did it show on Arcanine?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, it's under the pairings.
History.
It's-
You got to go to history.
But did it?
It'll show-
Hold on.
If the tournament is still up, you can go to pairings and it counts as a round. You can click like rounds 1 through 13 or whatever. Standings is another round on there for some reason. That's how they chose to split it up.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it won't
didn't
show
know
you
that.
your like win rate or anything like that, like the official sheets do, but it'll tell you what place you made.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I was like
dashboard.
79.
So I was gonna look up all of us for that because I was 250th, which is much better than like 660th that I was in, or 590th, whatever it was. I guess you can look
Yeah.
it up. I have the other website.
Yeah,
Orlando.
no, it was a nice little improvement.
Oh, it does show right there on the thing. I was 595 in Orlando, and I was 250 in
Moving it.
Knoxville.
That's
I mean, at this
That's
rate, after like
improvement.
in like 3 more tournaments, you'll be in like first or second.
That's true. Yeah, if that
I think that's
that
how
math
you can,
works.
you can extrapolate anything in a straight
Yeah.
line. I think that's how it works.
yeah, I think so. But I looked it up. So I ended up going all 9 rounds because I was still in the running for CP up until round 9, and then I lost. And I was like, well, that sucks. I was so close. Like, at least
Trust
I could
me,
have
I
gotten
know that
something.
feeling from the last 2 regionals. It's
Sure,
not,
absolutely.
Not fun.
Yeah. But I looked at my opponent and for that round 9, and he ended up 84th. And I'm like, so I'm pretty
wow.
sure I would have gotten CP and had a much better standing if I had
Yeah,
beaten
it's,
him.
it's really hard to tell. I know some good players who bubbled on CP with a 6-3 record.
Yeah,
84 would have put you at CP.
Yeah, 128.
Yeah, I would
is
have
CP.
128.
128. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he definitely got CP. So like good for you, Zach, I think. But it was super cool to like kind of get that close. And then despite the fact that I didn't get CP and I think I lost 0-2 to him, so maybe I wasn't that close. But it was like I walked away so jazzed, feeling so much better than Orlando. Orlando, I was pissed. We were just talking before the podcast about how after Knoxville, I was like, I am not gonna play Pokemon for a week. I want to take a break from this game, and then
Done nothing but ladder since.
Yeah, we've just been ladder team building, practicing, thinking about it. And
I like to take my break sometimes. Like you just need to cleanse the palate. And
I haven't built anything, but I've been playing with every like team I can reconstruct because it's so cool that we get the open team sheets for everyone in the tournament now. They're just on Arcanine, and then like shout out to Evan on VGC Pastes. He'll attempt to find the ones that have had the creators release their EVs. But even if they haven't, you can infer the EVs and just play with someone's really cool team. And
there's some cool stuff. Like if you go down Victory Road, that's what I just did. Like I'm just scrolling down through here to the 128 team. There's a freaking muck. Why is there a muck?
Why is there a muck?
I don't. It's minimizing curse.
Is it Terra Ghost Curse or regular curse?
Terra Flying. Minimize curse, fire punch, poison jab.
Did it do well?
I mean, he got 128th. I mean,
he did
got
better
CP with muck.
Better than me.
Got CP with muck.
That's really cool.
With muck and Esperanza. With no gravity shenanigans.
No gravity? Interesting.
I think Espathra outside of gravity shenanigans is really underexplored. Like the singles players know about it. That stored power and speed boost is kind of insane as a combination.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, and people were running this really early on. There must be a reason that it's not run in doubles, but like it's still scary, right? You let that thing have 2 speed boosts and suddenly it's nuking you.
I think the like so many dark types in doubles.
That's fair.
The reason could also be that it's underexplored.
Bring in Iron Hands. Call it a day.
Yeah. Put next to Iron Hands.
Yeah. No, I mean
threaten everything.
But yeah, this tournament was really cool. I was gonna say, I think this time I got to play against Carson Confer, who was a senior world champion at one point. And then like last round was against That's a +1, so like big content creator.
Yeah,
like that was pretty cool. Like, the last 2 tournaments, like San Diego was Raghav, Orlando was Joe, and like I think just the sheer number of rounds you have, you're gonna get someone that you've heard of before.
So
at some point.
I did not get big names, I think, but I did. So if you have seen me, faced me, or met me at one of these regionals, I'm giving out business cards for the podcast like candy, and it's great. But I've given it out to all but one of my opponents so far, just because I didn't do it.
Who was the one?
My first opponent in Orlando.
Okay.
I just like blanked. I was like just walked away. I'm like, oh wait, oh no, I'm trying to do something here.
They got real mad. Get that away from me.
No, I'm pretty sure I lost that, so I got real mad. But I gave it to someone, and it was someone who was already in the Discord and like had participated in a battle corner already. And I was like, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I'm so sorry I forget who you are. But it was super fun to meet you. That was a fun experience for just the self-shilling that I am of giving out these business cards, which I think is super fun. So if you have gotten one of those cards and are listening or in the Discord because of that, give me the validation I need in the comments down below, please.
So what do we want to move on to, Pokemon Day or the new announcement?
Pokemon Day.
Okay.
Pokemon Day.
We're getting DLC, or let's save DLC for the end. Let's go through the part I don't like first.
Okay, so I'm super excited. I was talking with Rowan right before the recording. I want to see what the TCG Classic thing is, and I'm tempted.
It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get it just because I think it'd be a cool like piece to have.
What even is it? Literally just a kit that you buy, or
I think it's a kit you buy.
So what from what I got from it, it's like a kit, and it has I think decks with it, like pre-made decks for you to use, and it's like the old school like base set cards.
Yes,
I would actually play that because like it's
a nostalgia.
Yeah,
it's nostalgia.
That's the only reason I played the TCG, to be honest with you. But like the new stuff, it's not as bad as Yu-Gi-Oh, but it still has Yu-Gi-Oh energy, where it's just like, oh, you remember all that like evolution and like stuff you had, like tributing and stuff you had to do in the original game? Nah, forget that. You can
we bypass all that.
Yeah, you get your entire board state set up on turn one, like drawing things directly from your deck.
I feel like it's a broken game. Like I've kind of like looked at it a little bit and everything, and like compared to like Magic the Gathering, it is a broken game.
Like people are in love with it. Like
people are in love with it. That's very true.
There's a word for this. I forgot. It's in Japanese, so I'm never gonna remember it. But there is a word for a game that is broken in an endearing way, and it's usually reserved for fighting games that people have like broken so thoroughly that they can touch of death you at round one, and like at the first second, and you will be unable to do anything about it if you don't know what it is. Yeah. And I think this applies to Yu-Gi-Oh too, and it semi applies to Pokemon, if we're being honest.
It's like there's a term called like gold fishing, like where you just draw a god hand, and I feel like that's what, because like you'll see Pokemon, like you'll draw through your entire deck and just shuffle it back in. Like that's insane for card games. Like
Sheldon's a Magic player. I don't know about you, Harrison, but like none of us are Pokemon TCG players, so like what we say is probably a little ignorant, but
very yes. Let it go on the record.
More than a little. So yeah, full disclaimer. I do not mean to make any like actual statements in here, but like from outsiders' point of view, it really feels like things just went off the rails the moment that they added like anything along the lines of the EX, GX, VMAX, whatever cards, where you could just take your like fully evolved sweeper, put it on top, put it in play, and but I lose more prize cards if it dies.
But it's more prizes.
But you skipped half the game, and this is the new game. It's fine. Like again, like this, I'm probably like the person who is complaining about everyone having an Incineroar on their team and doesn't understand what EVs are, right? Like I get that, but I would be very happy for this nostalgia card game where I actually have to evolve my mons.
Yeah,
I want to see what it is. All right, like how much it is, what it includes, all that fun stuff.
To me, the issue with with the TCG is like I was just saying, it's like the drawing. Like it'd be one thing if you couldn't just basically like filter your whole deck and choose what you wanted. But it's like the trainer cards that they have and all. They're just, you can't have that in a card game and it not be broken.
An old friend of mine once told me that the 3 most powerful words in a trading card game is draw a card.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Like in Magic the Gathering, like drawing card, like in Commander, usually that's all I want to do is just sit there and draw cards. Like that's all I want to do.
That's
like,
because Commander is so long and boring. It's not card decks.
Just leave me alone and let me draw my cards. I'll be happy.
You don't play Commander until like turn 5 or 6. Then you start playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it should be good. I hope I played the Game Boy Color one a little, like the Game Boy Color.
That game was so good.
It was a lot of fun. Like it was before.
That was like one of the best Game Boy games ever.
Taught you how to play the card game.
Yeah.
But it was different too at the same time. It was weird.
Yeah, all the kids my age, like none of them played it. We would just collected them, which was kind of
Yep.
That's
how we were.
Same.
I feel like that's everybody's experience. But the only thing I was hoping with that, like the only thing it needs is like holograms. It needs to be like full on Yu-Gi-Oh, where you sit the card down, and you get a little hologram pop up.
Okay, not even full on Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Like
yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna have the
full on Pokemon anime because we already have like creatures in this world that aren't Pokemon, so we gotta go for the technology route. So the Yu-Gi-Oh anime,
the
cards or whatever. Yes,
one day we'll get there. That's when society ascends, is when we can play holographic Yu-Gi-Oh.
When Pikachu can banish you to the Shadow Realm.
Exactly.
So
we're not talking about the Pikachu on the present either.
That Pikachu was should have been that was from the Shadow Realm.
I feel like you either didn't mind it or you were just thoroughly haunted by it.
It was disturbing.
If anyone liked it, please tell us you liked it in the comments so that
we can yell at you.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far. I want them to actually come out of the woodworks there.
Maybe we'll
but like
we'll have you on the podcast to tell us why.
to tell us like the psychological depth of
What happened to you to bring you to this point?
I don't know. If you liked it, let us know, because I want to know that. I want to know if someone liked it. That's all I want to know.
Was it? Okay, yeah, no, Sheldon, you thought it was real. I'm convinced it was CGI. If it's real,
I
need to go back and look at
it's
it.
the most cursed animatronic. The
I heard
reason
someone
think
say
it's-
animatronic, and I was like, whoa, wait a second. Like someone who's not
reason-
Sheldon, and I was like, whoa.
The reason I think it's CG is that the way it blinked didn't look like a robot. It looked like a computer generated blink, but I don't know. Like the blinking.
I need to go back and look at it again just to double check. But it seemed like it was because how I was sitting
Its
like on that
voice
little
was like weirdly.
box.
Yeah, I mean you can AR stuff onto surfaces. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty good these days. But like, even its voice was a little haunted, like too deep.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
Someone looked like some marketing person, and again, marketing person.
Someone
for
was paid.
Pokemon.
Someone was paid an annual salary for the biggest media franchise in the world.
Second biggest.
What's bigger?
I forget.
Okay,
It's something
cool.
dumb.
For the second biggest media franchise in the world, was paid an annual salary and
biggest
decided that this is good. This is how we represent our product.
Yep.
It was like the Gmax like P.
Yeah. Pikachu.
Okay, hold on. I thought it was overtaken by Winnie the Pooh, but it might still be Pokemon. Winnie the Pooh is second.
Okay, I don't
That's
understand
wild.
the world.
What does Winnie the Pooh make money off of?
I don't know. When was this updated last?
It's funny. My kid calls it poop
Winnie the Pooh.
instead of Winnie. Just not even Winnie, just poop. It's Poop Bear.
It's very good. Anywho, maybe it is highest person still. Maybe it was undone because Sword and Shield did work. I don't know. Who knows?
Scarlet
Anyway.
and Violet too, yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant Scarlet and Violet. What the new games are?
But I was gonna say, yeah. So we had that, and then a variety of mobile games that I don't care about. But what, like,
Yeah.
If you
Unite?
play-
There is one.
If you play
There is
competitive
one.
Cafe Mix, we'd also like to invite you on the podcast so you can tell us what that is.
But there is one.
And Go has
mobile.
something too, which is actually a thing. But also, yes, Sheldon, you're super excited about this.
Oh,
Take
I
it-
am so
Go ahead.
excited.
Take it away.
We have Pokemon Sleep
No, we don't.
coming.
Yes.
Coming. It is officially announced. We had a whole trailer for it. They acknowledged that it is real, and it's not like some Mandela effect where like we all remember
Everyone
it, but there's no
remembers it, but
proof.
it didn't happen.
I want to point something out. I want to take full credit for Sleep coming in the direct. Because I, last episode, said that
Because
it's dead. So,
A lot of
it's all
people
my
were saying
fault.
it was dead, but I've been
it's-
saying it every direct that comes up. I've been saying it. Pokemon Sleep time. It's finally
Why
here.
I just
did
wanna
it take
say,
them
I-
3
I-
years to make a sleep tracker?
Maybe
I
other
don't
people
know.
sleep differently than me, but it seems like a really dumb concept in that like you have to keep either your phone or presumably a somewhat expensive peripheral on your bed next to you.
It does
to
seem
work.
odd to me.
I
yes.
will roll over that and crush it with my body.
or throw it.
Like,
Okay.
Like
First off, Rowan, do you know how beds work? They're kind of soft.
I'm a heavy dude. I don't know, man. Like
he's
I
got a
think-
bad back. He's got a hard day. He
I
basically
think I
sleeps on
have
a
you beat in that department. So anyway, it's like none of this is new, right? Like there are sleep tracking apps that you either like if you have a
well, they
wearable, like a watch or
like
something.
smartwatches. It makes sense.
But they also do have ones that already exist that if you lay that was a really loud swallow. I'm not editing that out. Whoever did that just now.
Oh, that was probably me. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. So, but they're sleep trackers that you turn on, you plug in your phone, you leave it on the bed, and then it tracks your movement or whatever of how much you roll over, whatever. That's something that exists. Why did it take them so long to make this dang app? You put some you decide there's only 1,010 Pokemon now. You can decide how they all sleep, and then you can program that into a game.
Because
Okay.
we all had some weird fever COVID dream during that time, and it actually didn't happen, and we've all been saying it until they finally
we
were
willed
like,
it into existence.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
So here's the question: were they actually working on this for 3+ years, or is this like a Duke Nukem Forever kind of situation where they announced it, didn't work on it for years and years and
Yes.
years, and then it's like, oh god, let's turn it out now?
Yeah,
Probably that.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that there are public APIs that you can use for sleep tracking. That
Yeah.
you don't even need to
Yeah.
build this yourself.
It's
This is-
not.
Yeah.
This is nothing novel.
It's not.
If you look
It
at
can connect
the,
to Go though. Okay, it can connect to Pokemon Go.
I will say
Yeah, so
they
can
seem to
Sword
have
and Shield.
they seem to have a lot of trouble getting connectivity between games.
Scarlet
Like
and
it
Violet.
takes them a long time. Like it sounds like Home is delayed for Scarlet and Violet, and that's like
Which is
not
sad.
a new thing. It took a long time for them to get Home for BDSP. It took them a
That's
long
true.
time to get Home for Swish, and for Go, we knew it was coming for Go for like 5 years or something insane. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. But also, like, if you look at the graph in the like Pokemon Sleep app on the presents, it's the exact same graph that Fitbit uses for sleep tracking. Like it like design.
I guarantee Google
It's-
and or Apple just allow
Yeah.
you to do this stuff with
It's
your
a-
own skin over them with no problem because they don't care.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Anyway, it's
That would
super
be the
cool. I'm
first person to
definitely
download
gonna
it.
play it, and I'm gonna buy the Pokestop plus whatever it is.
Yeah, I love it. What do we call this? We already have plus. Like plus. I
Yeah,
don't care.
plus.
Whatever.
But-
Get out the
Does-
But they,
all
it's
right,
a
send it,
different
send it.
plus. They spelled out plus and then did a plus sign.
It's not as good as the old one though. Like the old one was like a legit Pokeball, which is great.
No, the old one was a little wearable thing. The Pokeball was the controller you
Oh.
had from Let's Go.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
but
still
it
have
but
that.
it
It's
worked
cute.
as a Pokemon Plus.
It did.
I
You
have
could
one
like you
somewhere.
could like load
Yeah,
them
you
on
could you
into
could
it or
play.
something.
Yeah,
Yep, you can put Pokemon on, and like it would have like. So I hope they keep this in this new Pokemon Go plus thing. Is like you can load a Pokemon into it, and it would like the little LED around the Pokeball button would like change colors depending on what Pokemon you had in there, and then it would have its own cry as well, which is super cute. But if all we get in this like $30 or $40 like piece of equipment is a Pikachu that sings you the Pokemon Center song, I'd be so pissed.
Okay, this is my inner cynic coming out, but and I say that in like fully knowing that it's always out, and that's just who I am. But
Nothing new.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just like catch for whales on Go, and that like it because the old
yeah.
one let you auto catch, but they only let you use regular Pokeballs, so they usually got away.
Guess how
Now
much this
you
thing
can-
costs?
Now you can auto catch with Ultraballs. and
$50.
That's I'll go 40.
55.
Wow,
It is a $55
Sounds about right.
flat Pokeball.
auto catcher.
Auto
Yeah.
catch. Yeah, it's true. It's an
Now,
auto
the
catcher.
auto, if you play a lot of Go, the auto catcher is great.
Sure. But
If you
again,
play a lot of
this
Go,
is
you
this is-
already
this is
have
a
a plus.
This is a whale item. This is a $55 microtransaction. Like,
Yep. Yeah. So all the people you see playing tapping on the Go streams, they will all have one.
so like software developer thing when Go first came out and they didn't really have any security yet. It was really easy to just write your own bot that would walk the world and catch anything and everything.
Those
there.
were great. I
It was-
love those.
I
I used to do those.
for legal reasons. This is a joke, but for truthful reasons, it was very, very easy. Like,
Dude, you could download stuff.
The only
you could
reason-
download them.
there's no reason that this should have taken like 5 years to make a product out of this. Not 5 years. How long has Go been out? 2016.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
almost
the
10 years old.
Yeah,
The direct and also the product page on Nintendo.com for the Pokemon Go Stop plus thing does make it seem like it's only Pikachu in there, and that is depressing. That better come with that. That better be updated in 10 years to have at least an Eevee.
yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so what else was there? I think Zacian's coming to Unite, so they get to know.
I think
that-
Zacian's in
Oh,
Unite.
it is already. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think there was a
apparently,
day
I've seen
that's
it's
in there.
Apparently it's
broken.
busted, which
But that's
it can't
every-
not be. It's Zacian. Like
Every new character they make too is busted. Like, they don't balance out the gate. They make the most broken thing.
I mean,
for-
that's like par for the course on MOBAs, right? It's like
Yeah.
you make the new DLC really strong, so everybody buys it, and then you nerf it in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yes.
But you
Yep.
can't nerf Zacian. I mean, they did in Scarlet and Violet, but not so soon. He needs a year of dominance, just like Swish.
yeah,
I mean, a year
I agree.
A year in Unite time is like 2 months, so it's fine. It'll be patched.
And like spoilers, he's still going to be good at VGC, even with Intrepid Sword getting a
But
nerf.
we have Tinkaton. Have you seen?
We do.
It's kind
Yeah.
of
Seen
like
it too.
Zacian with a birth defect, maybe. Yeah,
Big,
it's
big
cool.
sad.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Is it?
Okay. Screw everything else. So Scarlet and Violet are getting DLC. This is the stuff we're actually excited about. we feigned excitement for 30 minutes so far. So 2-part DLC all coming out this year. Is that fast?
I think it's about the same as Swish.
Was it the same?
Yeah, we got Isle of Armor for about 6 months.
Swish was faster though, because it's about a year for this DLC.
Yeah, I know in Swish we got Isle of Armor in the summer
in June.
And then we got Crown Tundra like early winter as well. So it's about the same pace, give or take. You're right. Swish was a tiny bit faster, but yeah.
Okay. June 2020. I thought there was a year of base game, but I was just wrong because COVID.
Yeah, no.
COVID Sword Shield was like light. Sword Shield was like light speed.
Okay. Yeah, both of the games needed, to be honest. The content's a little sparse, but this is great. Like, and on top of that, we got the new paradoxes like as part of the DLC.
And I saw a preview of like what we're getting.
Yeah. So the new paradoxes, we have Walking Wake, and then Iron Leaves.
So we have Suicune as a Velociraptor and Virizion, but metal.
But a robot, yeah.
Yes.
Cyborg? No.
Actual Verizon.
Verizon. That's a good nickname.
Virizion Wireless, like.
Virizion Wireless. So they're super cool. They are a Paradox Mon, so they have the Paradox Mon abilities.
They have some ballin' stats too.
590 base stat total.
Yeah, so same as Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant.
Yep, which tracks.
And just like Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant, the past one looks pretty good, and the future one is looking iffy.
That's fair. Everyone's gonna be using Walking Wake. I'm super excited for it. It has the coolest move.
Yes,
it has the coolest move.
Looks great. It's what Scald should have been to begin with.
Yes. So Hydro Steam, base 80 power, 100 accuracy, powered up in the sun and the rain because it's a water type move. So like it wins. It's fantastic.
It is the Weathermon now. Yeah.
It is the Weathermon now.
Yep. The best water move we've had.
Ever.
I'll take all the other things. The only thing I care about is that 100 accuracy. I'm gonna run it on every team that needs a water type. It's like
you should.
I miss Scald so much.
As soon as it's legal. Like, I'm sad because I've been rocking Palafin and Rain, and I've loved Rain forever. Like before competitive, like I always wanted to run Rain teams, and then in Sword and Shield I ran Rain teams, and now here I'm running a successful Rain team for once in my life, and I'm gonna have to get rid of at least Palafin to make a balanced Rain team, and then probably not even a Rain team, make it a Sun team because
Water Dragon's also a great typing. Like,
one of my favorite typings. I love Kingdra.
It was carrying Kingdra since Kingdra's stats were so bad. Like
I know, I'm so sad. I wish Kingdra's stats were better. But like, I'm excited.
They're weird with Kingdra.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're weird.
I'll say. Yeah, these things are awesome though.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting because like the I don't even know what is Virizion Wireless's actual name.
Iron
Leaves.
But where did it go? Okay.
Both of us stole Mike's joke at the same time. Anyway,
Very good.
what was I gonna say? Its stats are actually incredible. It has base 130 attack, a really good special defense, and over 100 speed. I think it's like 103 or something. Its stats are amazing.
104 speed.
Yeah.
Verizon's stats are actually, I think, better distributed than Wake's.
Oh,
they are, but its typing is garbage.
Horrible.
Utter trash. And its signature move is just not as good by nature of electric terrain being so hard to come by. I think Taboo...
And just psychic, like...
Yeah,
is rough.
It has a lot of weaknesses. Like grass types are always kind of in this box, and if you give it another type that has a lot of weaknesses, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. They don't resist anything that the other like. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, I'm looking. I didn't know this. I was just kind of looking at the Cerebi and looking at its move pool. It gets Quash.
Which is
super cool.
You can see it's. I don't know if it's fast enough for Quash, but I can see some use cases.
Quash.
But
fast Quash is fine, but I feel like you need really fast Quash, right? I don't know.
Booster energy. There
we go.
Boost the speed.
That's actually something. I do think like so. Once we get Coco,
and Ally
things
Switch
might change a little bit. Oh god,
no.
Actually, Ally Switch did get nerfed this gen, so I'm okay with it now. If it's a one-time thing and I can see it coming, I'm fine with it. But the like it does get like it can run a crit set like no one's business, right? I think if it has so many crit moves. Like if you just run scope lens, I think that's enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
They both have like a very interesting move pool. Like they have different coverage, different like usages. Like Wake has every sort of coverage special move
Except for ice. It has no ice coverage, as it turns out.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You already have four move slots.
It's something you expect from a water type, but I think it actually does get flamethrower.
It does.
So,
Flamethrower, Thunderbolt.
It actually
Solar
doesn't
Beam.
get that much coverage. Looking at it, I mean, it gets Mud Shot for. It doesn't get Earth Power.
That's annoying, yeah. But I mean,
I
I think what you run Hydro Steam, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, Protect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Terra Blast if you have a off Terra, like off water.
Solar Beam.
But you get that Sun Up, and then you have boosted Flamethrower and boosted Hydro Steam, and just stab Draco Meteor off of that 125 special attack. It looks good.
Yeah. There's a couple sets will come out from this. I'm certain.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for
Well,
it.
unfortunately, it's not going to be legal for a minute, but we can get into that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
back to the
story-wise,
DLC, I guess.
Yeah, so the DLC is coming in two parts. We have the oh my gosh, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc
Yeah.
are the two parts of the Hidden Treasures of Area Zero. I think is the group of them. Honestly, from the direct or presents whatever, my thought was that the first DLC that we get in June, the Indigo, the Teal Mask, and then going to like another like country or region or whatever, or a small
like an
town
island
thing, yeah, whatever's in that corner of the map we can get to for a festival. It seems okay. Like both of them story wise seem okay. I think that one will have the more story stuff, so like a side story that you could go on and do whatever. I think it'll be fun for a playthrough, and then we get some Pokemon coming back, which we can talk about here in a moment, and you get the new Legends, which is super cool. But I'm excited for the second DLC because I get big Battle Frontier vibes from that school.
The second DLC is like the other school exchange student kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think there was confirmation that they're going to be like sequels to each other. Like the second one will finish up the story that the first one introduces.
Oh, okay. That's actually cool then. I think that's
so
much better.
A bit of a cliffhanger, and then you get your 6-month thing later. Yeah, yeah. Unlike Swish, which were totally independent.
Okay, I like that a whole lot more because separately it seemed lacking from what we got. But I missed that was.
No, I think it's gonna be like an alley-oop kind of thing. It'll be good. Like they've been getting better at writing a story that kind of makes sense. It's still kind of mid as video game stories go, but it's so much better than we used to have. So
I will go on the record to say that Scarlet Violet had the best single player experience and story, loosely thrown on there, of any Pokemon game.
Well,
which
just
is
Arven.
not,
Arven was great.
Arven was great. The fact
that makes up for
everyone loves a
everything
dead
else.
dog story, right? Like
that's true. They did the gyms fine. Arven's story was actually touching, and then they threw on the other thing, Starfall, just so they can round out the 18 types. But I think it was still good for an open world. But
yeah,
we talked about this like months ago, I'm certain, at this point. I'm trying to find, hold on. Oh my gosh, Pokemon. That's not it. I'm trying to get the names of the legendaries that we're getting from.
oh god, yeah. I
They have good names.
Oh, like Okidogi,
Okidogi.
Monkey,
Bunga Bunga.
No.
Monkey. It's Okidogi,
Monkey
Dory. I don't remember.
And
The names are
Pheasantipity.
yes, yes. The names are fun.
So
the
good.
designs are garbage. I'm sorry.
I don't like
hate-
the designs at all.
I'm sure that eventually I will become Stockholmed into accepting that they exist, but for now I hate them so much.
I need to see them digital. Like not
Yeah,
just a
I'd like
drawing.
to see a 3D model, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the green dog one, the Okidogi, definitely has it has green Incineroar vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
It's weird.
this guy looks like he gets fake out in parting shot. Like
I don't know. Their designs, they are designs. They're going on the thumbnail of this episode. Their designs.
I respect it, but I hate it.
Yep. And then so Ogerpon and Terrapagos.
I'm gonna go with that for Galapagos. Yeah, like the turtle's cool. It's definitely like referencing the 18 types and Terra and all that.
The turtle might be my favorite legendary Pokemon design. I think it's pretty.
It's pretty cool, and it looks like we're getting that like Pokemon that explains the mechanic of the region, so that they're not
it definitely looks like this is the cause of Terra terastallization,
and so it's their excuse to not bring Terra into Gen 10.
Yes, and then someone posted that it looks like one of the arts of Terrapagos looks like it is the same shape as Paldea, like with its arms and legs, and like
it has Area 0 in the middle and all that. Yeah.
So like we knew if you read the books in Area 0 at the end of the game that like there was a Pokemon that caused terastallization and the whole phenomenon or whatever. Presuming this is it, we'll see. We'll see what it actually how they tie it all together. But I don't know. I'm excited for it. I definitely already bought the DLC, and I'm definitely now wearing an orange suit in game because that's such a good.
I bought the
outfit.
DLC early for the outfits, and they also don't look great.
I love the suit. I think it's so dumb, in a good way. Like it's like no
winter one.
Yeah,
none of the outfits are good.
Mine's purple. It has like grapes all over it. I don't.
Yeah, mine is orange with orange slices. I love it. It has the same energy as Nino Pokebros' Pokemon suit that people are now also wearing in regionals to mimic him. Yeah. Did you see like
the fact that there's more?
I saw some kid wearing that. Yeah.
The fact that there's more than one of those out there is great.
Yeah, I love it. But it has the same energy as that suit, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. We also got confirmation that they're bringing more Pokemon back, which is super exciting because they showed like 10 Pokemon.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk. We do know all of them for leaks, but we shouldn't talk about that till a later episode, I don't think.
Yeah,
there's a lot of. If we ever go over leak, there's some very interesting stuff leak worthy.
The leaks have literally every mon coming back. If anyone wants to look that up themselves,
it's also weird leaks because of how they got that information.
So it is extrapolating from a pattern of how they did it in Swish, I believe.
Well, there's bigger things than Pokemon coming too.
Yeah.
We're talking later because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I'm excited because like if this is to be believed, the first wave, so June, includes Ninetales, which logically should also include Politoed.
And Alolan Ninetales, which means you'll get another Snow Setter.
We get more
actual
more weather
good
setters.
Snow Setter.
Ninetales with the defense boost is actually scary.
That would be, and like I'm just excited to have Politoed back for my frog and dolphin team.
Okay, so speaking of dolphin, second wave of DLC, we're getting Whimsicott.
I'm so excited.
And there is it's not a glitch, it's a very cool mechanic. I think we were talking about this in G3.
We were.
Yeah, we did.
It's very cool. It's basically the game locks in priority at the beginning of the turn.
I wanted to test this because we can test it now with Grafaiai.
We can. Just nobody runs Grafaiai, but Whimsicott is going to be very good, right? You'll run it. Because of that, you can use if you use Wave Crash on turn 1, on turn 2 you can click Jet Punch and self encore yourself, and the result of that will be a priority Wave Crash the next turn, and that's going to be the wildest thing.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for it.
The key there being like using it on the dolphin is Chef's Kiss, beautiful and scary as heck. But it works for anything that can get a very powerful move that has no priority, and then a priority move, right? So that's
you could do a priority hyper voice off of Sylveon if you wanted.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
it gets quick attack.
Quick attack, okay.
Yep.
So you have options there. It's just also that to be fair, Palafin wants to run both those moves anyway. Yeah. So you get that benefit.
I mean, people do run quick attack on Sylveon. I don't really get it outside of like Dynamax weakness policy stuff.
It's like picking off sashes and stuff. I mean, it has its uses.
It does. It's just so weak. But I get it.
Yeah. So you have sometimes. So anyway, there's a lot of Pokemon there. There are leaks for what's coming. Go look it up if you so desire. Maybe we'll do a
We
leak
get some
episode.
stuff we haven't seen in a while though.
Yeah, I'm excited for
It's
it.
gonna be good. So
Dugong apparently.
the
Choice.
meta
I'm
breaking.
glad they.
Metagross, I'm excited for. Vikabug.
I do miss Metagross. That'll be good.
You get decorate with Alcremies.
Oh, that's right. So there'll be some fun things coming to probably next year, right? At this point, stuff will be legal post Worlds.
Yeah. So we've been going. I think we probably want to. If we want to cap this at an hour, do y'all want to talk about Series 3 before we call this?
We need to. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
So
you
let's hit
mean
that.
Regulation
C? It is subsection A. Yeah, it's
We're-
I do
They're
like the
shooting from
change.
the hip right now. They are shooting from the hip though. Like we're just fluid and evolving in Pokemon right now. It's a whole different world,
That's true.
which
Regulation
is good.
is a
needed
good
that.
word because series and season are
They're a little
also
confusing,
words. Yes,
you just call it rule
Yes.
set, but yeah. Anyway,
that's what regulation means. Rowan. Come on,
all right. I'm gonna.
I can be sassy too.
It's so what we're basically confirmed at the beginning of April. We will have Series 3, Regulation C, whatever you want to call it, the next rule set of VGC. And the only change, we're not getting any new home stuff or getting the new paradoxes that we talked about. We're just getting the Ruinous Mons, which
I wish we
say
got the paradoxes.
I do too.
That'd be so good.
I am saying just those 4 Mons are going to make a massive difference.
Huge impact.
I hate this.
And-
Gosh, I hate these things.
You know what else is interesting?
Chen Pao is Dragonite's best friend, so I'm
It
all
is.
over it. I mean, Dragonite's
is.
already meta now, so I actually don't care all that much, but it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be even more meta with Chimpao. So what's interesting too is because of the way that the rules work right now, Regulation C will also be the format for NAIC. Because NAIC
Yes.
day 1 is on the last day of Regulation C.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll know what that is.
But Worlds will be Regulation D, Series 4, whatever, which is going to be kind of wild. Apparently, Worlds is not that far after NAIC, so Worlds is going to be basically a fresh format, which...
Yeah, NAIC is the last major event, right?
Before Worlds,
maybe
yep.
Part
Before
of me,
Worlds.
Part of me
Before
is
we
happy that
all
I'm
go
probably
to
not making
Yokohama.
Worlds.
We're going to Yokohama, right? We need more patrons so we can go to Yokohama.
That's how much CP do you need for travel awards at this point? You need to win NAIC.
We're not getting
and 2 more
travel awards,
regionals.
friend.
Travel Awards is like, you need like over 1,000.
Have you gone to
Yeah.
any of the other events in other countries? No. You're not getting travel awards at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah, other internets you'd have to win, which I don't know. NIC might be the only one left. So
EUIC hasn't happened yet.
EUIC.
you are right. I don't know why I thought that already happened.
Yeah, only
Never mind.
OCIC. I guess LAIC has happened too, but there was no VGC there.
Sorry, y'all. There's more now than there was. Anywho. So yeah, that's all what's coming down the pipeline for Regulation C. We get the Ruinous Pokemon.
Yeah,
Nothing else?
Yeah, we'll do a deep dive into that later.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. Each of them get an ability that lowers everything else's on the field stats, like one particular stat. One lowers attack, one lowers special attack, and then one defense and special defense.
And I still don't know what their names are.
They're a little, you gotta learn them, and I only...
Chi-Yu and Chen Pao, those are the ones you're going to get real familiar with real quick.
Yeah, that's very true.
They are the Go-Burmons. The fish lowers special defense, and the cat lowers physical defense.
Terrifying things.
But I do think that the others may have uses as well. The ones that lower attack and special attack have some really, like the deer with the cup on its head actually is a bulky beast.
It's grounded dark. Yeah,
And
that one I think is going to be good.
Yeah, whereas
So-
the grass snail is there is some cute stuff you can do with it, but I think it'll be the worst of them.
Well, it gets like
that
leech
special attack?
seed and
I forget
Is
which
grass
one
snail-
lowers which. I think grass snail lowers special attack.
So it's interesting because like those two, if they're bulky enough, they work annoyingly well on what would be a stall team.
Yeah, you have those next to Garg.
Yeah, because Guard doesn't care about its attacks at all.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to have things like that, like toxic. Salt cure.
They are your screens by existing.
Yeah, basically.
That's true. So,
but yeah, it's gonna be wild just how those abilities work. It's like we get to play with them like in the preseason.
they're on Showdown, so if they have a format for it, you can go play with them. But it's interesting. We'll see.
The like go-to strategies that everybody used early on were Chen Pao and Dragonite. You could get Terra normal E-speeds, and that's why people took so long to figure out that Terra flying was so good on Dragonite, because they were still hooked on
just Terra normal E-speed
the
because
drug of Terra normal E-speed.
Because it smacks.
Yeah. But
and fast.
And then you have Flutter Mane next to Chi-Yu, who lowers special defense. So you just do
which is brutal.
Specs, Dazzling Gleam, and you lower it even further, and you go Terra Fairy on that Specs, Dazzling Gleam. You literally wipe things off the face of the earth, and they're so strong.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
They're
it turns it into a Xerneas, basically.
They are half a helping hand, but then they also themselves get to attack with their good stats with that half a helping hand.
Yep.
And so you'd have like the Chi-Yu with a Scarf, go Terra Ghost just in case you're gonna get faked out, and you click Hate Wave and and Dazzling and Specs Dazzling Gleam. It's just over, like everything melts.
Yeah, we'll have to do some flavor of math episode on these Pokemon, because they are scary and I want to know what they do.
It messes with
I
everything.
understand. Yeah, I understand that. I know the math. I don't know the math. You know.
You're gonna get real familiar with that math, and
I know
it's another thing, kind of like photosynthesis, where it's like
Yeah.
another like way to modify that is not a stat booster drop, which is the way we've come to like.
it's
learn to
another
process this
way
stuff.
to modify those stats in such an unnatural way.
The stat, the base stats themselves are changed as opposed to.
It's kind of like the evolution of like the Dark Aura and Fairy Aura.
Yeah,
right. So
it's kind of just progressed onto that.
So in reality, what I don't know, and what would be fun to explore, and maybe this can be a soon episode, is I understand like all the stuff that goes into the math, right? So like you have the base stat, you have attack power, you have EVs, IVs, all the fun stuff, right? But depending on that formula, does it matter? Does one like matter more because of like where it exists? You know what I'm saying?
EVs, IVs, and the base stat make your actual stat total, and that stat is what is directly modified by these things.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
so it is the total, not the base.
Not the base, yeah. So you're not talking about like Charizard having 100 speed. You're talking about Charizard having 167 speed
because of how you EV'd
when it's
it.
max speed timid, yeah.
Right.
And then that 167 is what's actually modified by these abilities.
That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I'm just curious to see how, because I want that math also for like EVs and IVs and how you can get the most out of those and the natures.
It's kind of like huge power on like a Azumarill or whatever. Right. It doesn't multiply its really bad base attack by 2, which would just make it 100. It should be bad. It multiplies the total by 2, which makes it amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope. That makes sense. But yeah, there's probably already deep dives into Pokemon math, but
people who know it better than we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll study up. So that's DLC. Anything else you want to talk about on those? Oh, don't forget to get your Hisuian Zoroark. If you bought the DLC, you get a code in the email.
Yep. Gotta check that email for it.
Which I haven't done yet, but I want to use.
That's my favorite way to play a video game.
I got mine.
Via email?
Via email, yeah. I like to check my emails to play video games.
So, is that...
I'm glad they did that.
They've also done it before.
They could have just delivered it directly to your game once you
exactly.
You
how you get your shirts. Like, why could it just not be put in with those? Like, in the same exact spot. You get it the same way.
Was it Sword and Shield, I think? If you, like, pre-ordered it, they gave you a code for, like, 10 quick balls and, like, a bunch of potions or something. I'm like, what? I don't need this.
Yeah. They did that for Scarlet and Violet too, I think. You got like
maybe
some Pokeballs or something.
I should check and see if I have some Terra shards in my email address. Inbox, whatever. So is Hisuian Zoroark legal for
it's
a Paldea prologue?
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, there is a random
which is like
a double tournament you can play,
Yeah.
Which is a wild format in itself.
Because it's like everything's legal and one of the
mini
lizards.
Series 7 from Sword and Shield.
Right.
Like, you get one restricted, but you only have 2 restricted to choose from.
Yeah.
I think it's Series 8. Yeah. God.
So that's the thing.
I would love to play with Miraidon just because I want to see the future mons do cool stuff, but I will unfortunately be traveling that weekend, so no dice.
I might play in it just to see. I might try and make up a team and do something.
It's a format on Showdown
remember.
if you just want to play around with it.
Yeah. So
Sure.
it'll be fun. Maybe stream it, play it, stream it. Content.
And also, one other thing too is we did get the patch along with getting the
patch.
new mines. The patch is actually legit.
The patch is very nice. I wanted to talk about this. Like at the very least, the best thing I've seen so far for the patch is that like ranked ladder has different places you can play Pokemon now,
and it has a dynamic camera.
Not,
it doesn't Roaring Moon doesn't just completely obscure whatever's behind it. Like,
I didn't even notice that yet.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Like the camera actually moves around. The lag is a lot better. Like there's no more like EQ teleporting your health bar. It actually like goes down.
They fixed raids, speaking of health bars and stuff. So like
raids are so much better.
I did the raids for the new Paradox Mon, and it actually felt like a game instead of
just randomness happening on the screen. Yeah, or just pressing buttons and things happen. I don't know
look,
what was happening.
They were just trying to copy their inspiration for Pokemon Go raids and smash buttons, hope things go well.
And they did.
Tap.
And they succeeded.
Yeah, that's the sad part. No,
it was like
Pokemon.
It was like a raid with bad cell service. That's what it was like.
That's what it was. I hate that.
But like it's just not that, like just the overworld. Like I was experiencing a lot less like frame drops and jumping in and out, like kind of stuff. Like
I need to run around in the overworld and see it because I've yet to do that.
Well, even then though, like sometimes like if I was playing in handheld mode, like my Switch would sound like it was about to blow up playing this game. Like it would get loud playing it, and it did it this last time I was like playing around and running around and stuff. It didn't sound like it was about to blow up on me.
Love to know like behind the scenes what was causing it to be so inefficient. It's going to be something really silly like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, well, we'll talk about the thing I was telling you about offline, but
they're rendering less stuff. I like there's less stuff in the overworld. I know
that's what you're talking about. I got it. Never mind. I'm super excited for that thing.
But I remember like it's like a joke story at this point that the reason that what's it called Sun and Moon were such massively large games despite being like not that technically impressive was because they have a separate copy of every model for each cutscene that it's in. So there are like 18 Lilies or whatever her name is, like Nebby getting the bad girl. Like there's just tons of like just hard copies of identical 3D models saved in each cart.
Is that Lily's epitaph? Like Lily, Nebby, and the bad girl?
I
think it should be. But no, you're right. I've heard that same thing, and there's gonna be some silly inefficiency that they're fixing 6 months after the game is released, right?
And I will say I did not realize that there were any less Pokemon running around.
That's good.
They probably weren't even rendering to begin with in the first place. So.
They were
fair enough.
They were there, but you could not see them, and it caused the frame rate. I have an old Switch that I've played some Violet on, Scarlet being my main game, and I gotta tell you, even worse. Like feels like it is going to melt.
Why do you have an old Switch?
It screams at you, and
what are you doing with that old Switch?
Oh, so anyway. I got some fun things going on for the server. Great segue, Rowan. So what we're doing, if we're done talking about patch performances, and I want to wrap up this episode because it is late, and I think I'm going to commit to editing this tonight because I hate myself and I had a latte earlier, so I'm awake. Even though I did just have mead, so I should be sleepy. Anywho, we done? We good? We're going into the home stretch here. So this week, actually by the time this episode goes up, hopefully if I can remember to do it tonight, we are going to open up a battle corner, which we kind of missed last month. So sorry about that. But we're going to open a battle corner. I got us approved to work on whatever, to use Limitless TCG as the kind of the organization thing for that instead of challenge, whatever we were on before. So look forward to that. I'm going to try and get that all together. The plan that we're talking about is this episode goes up on the 2nd of March, and we'll kind of close signups on the 10th. So you have like a week and a day to sign up. We're going to blast it on socials. We're going to have it in the Discord. all that fun stuff. So you can kind of make sure you get signed up, and then we'll go from there. We'll do series Regulation B is what it should be called.
Are they retroactively changing the old ones now?
I am.
Okay.
So series B Regulation 2 rule set for the game. What is being played right now in prep for Charlotte. Same thing we've done before, the long form asynchronous tournaments, so we can get best of 3 practice, yada yada. Besides that, in the Discord and link down below, in the link tree down below, I should say, we're gonna try and continue the practice corner, a weekly kind of time to just kind of get people in the community together to try and team build, get some ad hoc best of 3 practice, showdown, whatever, all that fun stuff. For both of those, if I am around and my old Switch has not melted, I will have a fun Discord bot running to support those efforts. More details on the Discord down below.
We will help you build your team.
We'll help you build your team very fast. We can talk about that offline. Anyway, so that's kind of all of that's going on in the Discord, coming up here soon. So look forward to that. Next week, we'll talk about something, I don't know what. We'll figure it out later. Maybe stats from the last 2 regionals. We didn't actually talk about stats in Knoxville or Bochum, whatever.
Yeah,
so those are things that happened. Yeah, which poor,
we didn't even talk about
planning. But whatever. So that's cool. Actually, shout out to the kid who won Knoxville, because that's a cool story. So maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Super cool.
Yeah.
That's really worth discussing, and I feel bad that we didn't do it this week.
Even the top 2 is just, they're both a cool story.
I did not realize going into regionals and these like live events like how stories worked, but like it's so cool. Anyway, thank you to RobKTA and Game Chops. These were our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off of the Ultraball album. Ivan Harrison, I promised on Twitter that I will stream more this month, and I'll get Smash Ball on stream, so look forward to that. Just probably not this week, because life happens. So off to a great start. And I have been joined by...
Rowan. You might know me. You can find me as Rowan Hall on YouTube, Rowan W. Hall on Twitter. I just posted a video for the team I brought to... where were we? Knoxville? Yeah, that place.
Knoxville.
I am kind of sick. It's been a long day.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that was the best outro you've ever done, by the way. It's a golf clap.
Except I realized I did not actually say Twitter and Twitch at @row_ixon. There you go. That's how you can find me. Or in the link tree down below.
You could have just taken the compliment. Yeah.
Nah, I had to say it. I was gonna say it eventually anyway.
And I have been joined by.
And this is Sheldon. You can find me on Twitter at Captain_Unova and on Twitch at Captain Unova.
I do appreciate the compliment. We have been the Game Corner. You can find us on Twitter at Game Corner VGC. You can find us in Discord, the link down below. Everything we have, all of our stuff, all the Discord, not Discord, wow, all the Game Corner stuff, Battle Corner stuff, everything will be in that link tree down below, because that's super convenient for you and me. List your favorite Series B Regulation 2 core in the comments down below. There's my other engagement, general engagement for the episode. Until next time, press start and game on. Bye.
I like to count 1, 2, C. Let's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my
Series
favorite.
C Regulation 2.
Yes, that's how it works. Also, I could not accept the compliment and not tell you why you're wrong and then try and mess it up afterwards anyway. So also, screw you, Sheldon, for not getting sick at Knoxville.
Yeah.
The two of us are going down. Wife's going down too.
You know,
so.
it's because, do you know how much more alcohol I drink than y'all? That's why I'm not sick.